Why should you be a person who becomes a victim of people who are also trying to figure out your own path too? Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're doing fine. Welcome to the channel and welcome back. If you're returning, welcome. If you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're new, this is your first time, yes, subscribe to the channel and support this girl. For the new family members, you're welcomed. I see you all. Thank you so much for your support, and let's get right into today. I'll be talking about self-esteem and how God has helped me to fight a low self-esteem, low sense of self-worth, all that identity crisis and all that. And I'm so intrigued by this topic because I've just come to realize that it is actually very vital. It is like, even as we are born, as we grow up, we are struggling with the need to know, who are we? What am I meant to do in this world? What is going to become of me? Who am I really? That is what we are struggling with. And most of the time, we come across many issues in life, many challenges, people who try to name us or to make us think that this is who we are, this is where you belong, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. And with time, it affects who we think we really are, and it gets to a point where we are actually affected in how we see life, how we see ourselves, how we relate with ourselves and with other people. And I've just actually come to realize that much of the problem we are having, even in this generation, is due to a poor, an identity crisis. It is due to an identity problem. People don't know who they are. We don't know how valuable we are. We don't know how precious we are. We don't know why we are created. And most of the time, when we see that life is not working out the way we want it to, we tend to think that actually we are the problem, or maybe we are not just lucky, or maybe we are not just the best to ever be created by God or to exist in this world. And that is why I feel it is so important, and that is why I even am doing such content on self-esteem and self-worth, because I believe that if every one of us can come to a point where we know who we are really from within, who am I? And from a Christian perspective, because I'm a believer, I'm born again, and that is where I understand life best. And as a child of God, I know that God created me for a reason and for a purpose, and I'm meant to serve a specific purpose in this life. With that understanding, I get to relate with God. I get to know who I am, how much potential, how much worth I carry, and I don't let myself be defined by the noises around me, by the thoughts of people, by the conclusions of men, by maybe what I have done and what I have not done. If I failed or I succeeded in something, you don't let that title you or label you. And today I just want to share with some of the signs or the things to know that you are actually struggling from a low self-esteem and low sense of self-worth. These things, at times we may think that they're just things that happen, but actually being someone who has recovered and still recovering, because it is a journey to always become who God created us to be. It is a journey until we get to that point where I'm like, I have found myself. I know who I'm truly. But one thing I know, I am way far from where I was in terms of knowing my worth, knowing my value. I'm at a place, as I said in the previous video, where I do things that I wouldn't do. I feel comfortable just doing what makes me comfortable and not necessarily doing what makes other people comfortable or what other people tell me to do. And God has really helped me to grow my esteem. And even as I'm sharing this, it is not to make you feel judged, but it is also to help you detect those areas in your life that actually need your attention. I can promise you that it is very possible, because I'm standing here as a testimony, and I'm talking from a place of actually experience and knowledge. I can promise you that I can sit with someone and I can discern that they are really struggling with a low self-esteem. I'm at that point where whether you act very confident, whether you act how, I can always discern, because I have been there, and I know all those things that happen. This is to help you like draw attention to that area. And yeah, it is good because I've learned that you can never, don't try to sweep things under the carpet. No, always have the confidence. It takes boldness to face you. It takes boldness to face your areas of weaknesses and those areas that are a struggle to you, and be able to become and make yourself a better person. That is the work I've been doing and I'm still doing, and I just love to like everyone to come to that point where they come to relate with who they truly are and who really God created them to be. Because I've realized that when you come to that place where you are relating with the person who God really created and the potential He gave you that you have no idea yet, until you come to that place where you go in within you and start just dealing with those things and allowing yourself to know you, because it is true you can grow up and you don't know who you are. So let's get right into this. Signs that you are suffering or struggling with a low self-esteem. Number one is you do not respect boundaries and you do not have boundaries. I wasn't a person who had boundaries. I will do things for my friends, I will do things for my cousins, I will do things to make people comfortable, to please them, so that they may love me, yes, love me and make me feel accepted. And because I was having struggles with my esteem, I didn't know who I was, I felt I was not worth, and I had to do things that please people. I didn't have boundaries because I got myself into things that I wouldn't even have desired myself, but because I didn't want to be lonely, I didn't want not to be loved, that is why I disregarded, and I didn't even have boundaries in my life, even though I wished to, but I didn't have the ability. People struggling with a low self-esteem actually cannot have boundaries, and you realize that when you don't have boundaries in your life, you don't have boundaries, you don't respect people with boundaries. That is when you realize that when a friend of yours tells you, no, I can't do that, you are offended. Why? Because you don't have boundaries, because you don't value boundaries. But I've come to this place where I've learned that if my friend tells me no, I'm loving people into freedom. My dear, I love it, and I love that you're at a place where you can do what you're comfortable with. But if you're struggling with a low self-esteem, you will always feel like, you always feel that it is an attack to you when someone is trying to put some boundaries, which is actually not the case. But boundaries are meant they're meant to make the relationship even better, that we relate from a place where everyone is comfortable, everyone feels respected, because we are different, we have different values. And so a person, when you realize that you have a problem with boundaries, your own boundaries, and also other people's boundaries, you have a problem with how you see yourself, your self-worth, your self-esteem is a problem, because you will always feel attacked when someone tells you, no, I can't do that, or no, I'm not comfortable with that. Why? Because you don't even relate to such kind of things. People with low self-esteem don't relate to boundaries. Yeah, boundaries in your communication. When you have a good sense of self-worth, even the words you speak, I'm telling you, you are cautious, and there are certain words you can't even use. At times I look at some of the music that people listen to, and I'm like, that music seems to be abusing even your femininity or something. So if I have, my self-esteem is at a good place, there are things I don't listen to. And personally, there are things I listen to, I hear maybe in a matatu or something, and I'm like, oh my goodness, no, that is abusive. I can't listen to such a thing. I can't even dance to such a thing, because it is abusing my womanhood. And so if you do not know who you are and you don't have a good sense of self-worth, you find yourself just being happy with what's going on. You don't even know how it affects you, how it relates to you as a person. You don't have boundaries in your life, even where you go, the time you stay in places. When you value yourself, let me tell you, you don't stay out late when you know there are dangers that may face you. You protect yourself, you guard yourself. So when you see that you are just reckless, there is quite a problem over there, my dear, and yeah, try to look at it. And another point, you are a victim of peer pressure. People with a low self-esteem and a low sense of self-worth will always follow other people. I once asked myself, why is it that I have to be the one following people? And you realize that most of these people, who are actually most of the time our peers, they even don't know also. They're just trying to figure it out. What makes you think that you have to follow them? They also don't know. Why should you be a person who becomes a victim of people who are also trying to figure out your own path too? Yeah, like figure out your own life. I'm one person who really peer pressure, it has no place. And since varsity, since I came to know who I was, and I realized that I was following the crowd and doing things for my friends, I got myself into things that I wouldn't have if I knew myself. If I had a good sense of self-worth and a good self-esteem, I wouldn't have done those things. So really, if you have a low self-esteem, you are a victim of peer pressure. If you find yourself always going with, like, your friends tell you do this, you do it, you don't think about it, you don't think about your values, you don't think about the consequences of it, you're having a challenge with yourself. You don't love yourself good enough, you don't value yourself, you don't respect yourself. Yes, that is the hard truth. Peer pressure, you just go with the flow. Start also being influencing others. Why should you always be influenced? If it is the right direction, well and good, because it is in line with your values, that is okay. But if you just follow people who lead you astray, no, don't do that. Another indicator that you have a problem with your esteem is jealousy. You are this person who is always jealous of other people, of what they have and you don't have, of their relationships, and you always want even to come in between and take away, the good in those other people's life. You are actually suffering from a low self-esteem. Why? Because you feel like you're not good enough to have what they have. But when you grow, you to understand that you are actually valuable. You are happy for other people because you know that God can also give you, that you can also attract because you are worth, you're valuable, and you don't have to always have what other people are having. You are content with what you have, you're content with your life, and you are also actually genuinely happy. Look at your heart, because these are the things of the heart. You know your heart, whether you get jealous of your friends, whether you get jealous of someone's achievement, you are having a self-esteem problem. Yes, and that is the real truth. You compete. You are always wanting to have what your friends have. You want to be ahead of someone. No. When you have a good self-esteem and sense of self-worth, you are content with where you are, as I said, and you are comfortable. You are running your own race. You are not in this together with anyone. You realize that your life is different. It is uniquely wired for you. And the way life is to work out for you may not be the same as the other people. You cannot compete with someone, let's say, who is going just here, and you maybe are going to go far, and there are things you have to put in place, there are things you have to work on as a person. So you see that if you understand who you are, you do not compete. You cannot compete with people because you understand that our paths in life are different. You understand that God created me differently and my path is different, and you are comfortable with people being where they are and where they have to be, and you are also comfortable working on yourself and going with the timeline that God has for you actually. Yes, so competition. If you find yourself being a competitive person, you want to have what someone has, you want to be ahead of people, someone has a new cloth, you want to have it. No. Is it the right time for you to have it? When you have you have a good identity, you are not moved by what is going on around you. No. Is it my season? Am I at a place to have that? I looked at when I was in varsity, and kids who are from humble backgrounds like I was, and find themselves because they want to match up with the standards of other people from well-to-do families, and so you want to get into things that will get you money but really make you even so worthless because of what you're doing. Like, really, you have a low self-esteem. Be comfortable with where you are, because one thing I know, with God, life is progressive. You can never remain where you are. It is a journey. Things get better. We grow. Be patient through it. Another point, insecurity. You are a very insecure person. When someone just says something, you think they are attacking you. You think they are talking about you. You think someone said something about you. Very insecure. You are so insecure about your body. You are so insecure about how you look. You are insecure about what people are thinking about you. My friend, it doesn't matter. Does it matter what? Like I said, I don't care. I'm at this place where I'm so comfortable in who God has created me into that I don't care what you think about me. I don't care what your perspective is, because I've come to learn that even what you think, if let's say if you think whether I'm beautiful or I'm ugly, that is up to you. Because let me tell you, one thing I've come to learn is what I see as beautiful is not what you see as beautiful. So who do we depend on to be the standard? Why are you insecure about the opinions of people, about what they are thinking? Our thinkings are totally different. So which means you will be swayed left, right, center because of the opinions of people, because of what. No. Don't be insecure. And insecurity also is in that you're also irritable, because when you are moved by what people say, it means that you will be easily irritated also, because your life is about what other people say and what is going on around you. You are a pessimist. Let me tell you, these people who just believe that, I don't believe anything good can come out, I'm just existing. No, they're scared of facing life and just thinking that actually something good can come out of their life. And it is also because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe they're good enough to have the best, to attract. No, I'm a pessimist. No. You have a low self-esteem. You don't believe that something good can come your way, something good can happen in your life, and you are a coward. You just don't want to face it. You have a low self-esteem. I'm sorry to say, but yes, pessimists, yep. How can you have a good self-esteem and think that life will work out badly? People with a good sense of self-worth have a positive thinking. Negative, you're always, no. Pessimist, if you find yourself just thinking that life will work out badly or things just can't be better, it is a problem of an identity. You don't know yet who you are. You don't know yet what God can do in your life, the capacity, the potential that God put in you. You don't know that you don't just exist. God has the best to bring your way. Why should you expect the worst? Pessimists. Lack of confidence and overconfidence. I know, don't confuse it with anxiety. Every one of us always have that level of anxiety if we are facing something new, or we are dealing with something that seems big and we have not been there. But I'm talking about these people who are just don't have confidence. And I've been there. You just can't even raise your head, or you have even a posture that shows lack of confidence, because you don't feel worth. You don't feel that you are needed in places, and so you tend to show lack of confidence because you are struggling with an identity problem, and so lack of confidence, and you can work on it step by step. I've been working on that, and I'm still working on it to be a better person. And so when you see this, I'm talking to you things that are real and relatable, and because I want you guys to know who you are and just be confident. Really be confident, because no one is born confident, and it is a choice you make to be confident. And also overconfidence. There are these people who also act out. They act out confidence, but deep within they are covering their low self-esteem. So yes, find balance. That comes from you knowing who you are, and be comfortable with who God created you to be and the person that God created you to be. And yes, and so guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't want to prolong this any further. I hope you enjoyed. We shall continue doing more of this. If you have a suggestion of what you would love us to talk about, also feel free to comment down below. Or if you have an addition that you would love us to also learn, please feel free to comment down below. Thank you so much for watching. Consider liking, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, please subscribe. I would love us to reach 1,000 subscribers. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Be notified every time I put across new content, and like my channel, like my video. It helps to grow the channel. Just like it, especially if you've watched till the end. We have a thing, so please just like and support my channel. See you guys. Thank you for watching.